I'm Vik Hothi, and over the past 3 decades, learning, training and researching the martial arts has been my life's passion. In 2017, I had a life-threatening illness, and using all of the attributes I had developed through diligent martial arts practice, and in particular the Wing Chun system, I was able to make a full recovery. As a result, I wanted to do a project to give back to this wonderful style of Kung Fu. It's because of this, I made the decision to take my students over to China to interview the leading experts of the main lineages of Wing Chun, all in an effort to bring some clarity to the system, especially as there are many outside influences detracting it from its true essence. In the following videos, I'll be asking a series of questions to the various Sifus to get a better understanding of the history and establishing a baseline for what the Wing Chun Kung Fu system really is.
Yeun Sifu said his experience is very simple. He started to learn Wing Chun since he was a teenager, and he learned from 2 students of his grandfather, Yun Kei-san. They are Liang Ao Sifu and Nang Sifu. And also, until now, he already practiced Wing Chun more than 50 years and have teaching for more than 30 years. Said, everybody knows that in that time it's a very difficult period for Chinese people. The daily life is very simple, and there's not too many entertaining things, and also people has to work very hard for their lives. So happily, Yeun Sifu, they have more leisure time, and then they can focus on learning Wing Chun. Okay. Nowadays, people like to do things very fast, like to get very soon effectives, and we call this fast food culture. But back then, the Sifus also really traditional. They will teach things slowly. They will teach the new things after students have the solid fundamental of training, the basic things, and then the student has the chance to learn next one. Otherwise, Sifu will never teach like the next step. Like the section Yeun Sifu did before. In old time, you can never imagine in one class you can learn all many techniques. This can spend 1 or 2 years to learn in the old time. The Sifu want the students to understand one technique thoroughly and deeply. And when they do it very well and master it, then he will teach the next one. In general, these 3 forms, they all used to train the position of the arms or the bodies or the steps. And Yeun Sifu very emphasize on 3 key points how to make those techniques work. One is the position has to be accurate, and second is they have to master everything, the techniques. And then third is like you make it as a habit, the moves. So some people, they just do the moves, they don't know what's the purpose, and also maybe in the wrong position. So you have to be at the correct position. It's like this already going, but then here, in this position, you cannot. Yeah, here you move a little bit, lift a little bit up, and then your direction being changed to the side. So this in the old time, the Sifu said when they test how the students do the forms, they will check the position, like a little bit, maybe higher, lower, left, right. So the wooden dummy to train the position. This Bruce Lee, what he mentioned before, they just for the entertaining, for the version. So they will use wooden dummy to frame the range of the movements. Then they will not do these big movements because he will train with another one. It's 2 arms of a wooden dummy. The second purpose to train the wooden dummy is it can enhance the sense when people fight. because we have a saying in Wing Chun, it's called, if there's no master and no partner training partner, then you use a mirror and a wooden dummy to train. The sayings, every lineage has their own sayings, but also we have this like general sayings. For example, this Loi Lao Hui Song and the one he said before. So these sayings actually some kind of consumption of their system or techniques, and also can use that as an instruction. First of all, nowadays people don't carry knives and poles on walk on the street, and but Yun Shifu said the knives are extension of the arms. So the knife forms and the empty hand form, they kind of compensate with each other. They have similar strategy and similar ideas or techniques how to. For example, you use a pole to hit him. He used double knives, so you punch like a pole. So either he chop or slice. So this empty hand will be like this. First of all, according to the legends, like if someone creates one system, basically this throwing, punch, lock, catch, and hold, we so-called locking hands. These are 4 key points in the one martial art system. In this style of Wing Chun, since Wen Kei-san, he learned from Guo Boqun and Feng Xiucheng, and according to the legend, Feng Xiucheng was like a general sergeant in one province, and his responsibility is to catch the bad people. It's not to kill them. So since Yun Kei-san learned from him, so they has more portion in this style, locking hands. Maybe not in other style, but in Yun Kei-san lineage, they have more parts of locking hands technique. This is the strategy of Wing Chun. He said he has like sum up 6 characters, which he explained before 4. One is take the position, which called Ya Wai. Second one is Xin Gei, which means like take the opportunity. This is called control and manipulate. This is 6 characters, the Chou Hong Ya Wai Xin Gei. So the first 2 is manipulate and control, and the second is take the position, and the third is take the opportunity. He says in the boxing, they don't have this manipulate and control. They only have a dodge and avoid. There are 2 types of fighting. One is like a stick the arms. One is like a leave a distance. So basically, what Yun Shifu showed before, he said like looks very high level, and people cover their eyes and do this so-called qi kill, but actually there's not too many chances. He wants you to keep in touch with his hand, but then attack at the same time. So basically, what Yun Shifu showed before, he said like looks very high level, and people cover their eyes and do this so-called qi kill, but actually there's not too many chances to use it for the real fighting. So as a person to learn Wing Chun, they need to know this. This is maybe, but they need to know this as a complete system. It's maybe not very practical. People disagree with this 1,000 Tai Chi thing. So basically, these are 2 different systems. But of course, there's some techniques maybe it can like has a similar idea. It's kind of like a controversial topic. Most of people, they think Wing Chun is supposed to be an internal martial art, but of course there's some negative opinion. Yun Shifu said this need to be verified maybe in the future for some experts. And in the history, they have many stories. They also like talk about which one is bad, which one is good, and as many countries. So also when did the human being start? So that's this kind of thing. It can lead to some experts to this study. But Yun Shifu said doesn't matter this internal, external. The Wing Chun emphasize more on technique, not power. If it's talking about philosophy, it's not just the Chinese martial art. It can suitable for anything. Anything they including some philosophy theories and including like construction or war or any daily life. So you can say this Wing Chun like a philosophy part. Martial art is kind of like a culture, a kind of culture. So it's kind of a very comprehensive cultural thing. It's of course contains all this philosophy idea inside. So in China, we talk about people practice martial art, they need to have this essential qi and the spirit. So if you want to have this one, you have to like maybe make your body healthy in a healthy way. So this is when we're talking about maybe you run the qi fluently and coordinate with the breathing. But Yun Shifu thinks if just emphasize on training qi can enhance a lot of the technique, that's he thinks that's kind of like not necessary. Okay, but in this system they have this San Hei Gua Yun Gong, which is to cultivate this the function of the kidney, which is essential qi. This gong was learned by his sifu from an army doctor. So that is to to keep the body healthy, run functionally. So this is out of the martial art part. So nowadays Wing Chun is very popular because of the movies and all the promotions. Feels like now the Wing Chun become like a main martial art in China, one of the main martial arts. Okay, of course the future will be very bright because now not only Chinese people, the people all over the world, they start to interested in training Wing Chun. So will be very, how to say, very bright future. Point to the top.
係啦，非常之好。好喺呢度咧，好多人鬧。呢都可以啦。very good。very good。OK。very good。使力啊！